My name is Vanessa Hayes. Welcome to my studio. Here's a little backstory which leads me to today's video. I have a weakness for anything teal or turquoise. I think I have cobalt teal and turquoise in almost every major brand of watercolor. I purchased Holbein's Cobalt Turquoise Light and really love the color and the way the paint flows. And here's a swatch so you can see the beautiful color of this paint. I decided I might like to explore other colors in this brand and discovered small sets of granulating colors. I'm drawn to granulating colors and multi-pigments with different color dispersions because they're unique and so much fun. I purchased 3 of the Holbein Granulating sets and just received them. Today we are going to swatch the paints to see what they look like. I divided my paper into 3 columns and 6 swatching sections, leaving room at the top for a header. The first set is the Nightfall collection. This set has 5 tubes in it. The first to swatch is Nightfall Red, and that's PR264 and PBK11. Those colors are Pyro Red Rubine and Mars Black. Pyro pigments are not granulating pigments, but Mars Black is very granulating. I'm wetting the section to help the paint move. And I'm using tube consistency. I'm painting on the dry section for the strongest concentration and mixing with the water as I move across the page for a lighter value so we can see the full range of the color. I went back with a little more pigment for a stronger value. The second color is Nightfall Yellow, that's PY110 and PBK11. This is a yellow color, yellow pigment I have no idea how to pronounce, and Mars Black. I don't know anything about this yellow pigment. There are very few granulating yellow pigments, but it also has Mars Black, which is granulating. Again, the darkest value on the left, and mixing with the water that I've already laid down on the page to get to a lighter value on the far right side. I'm using this same process on every section. And so because you already know the process, I'm speeding up the video. The third color is Nightfall Green, PY154, PG7, and PBK11. Again, another yellow that I have no idea how to pronounce. Phthalo Green and Mars Black. The Phthalo Green is not granulating. But again, this also has Mars Black for the granulating properties. And I am really liking this color. The fourth color is Nightfall Blue, PB15 and PBK11. That pigment number is associated with phthalo blue or manganese. They have the same pigment number. This one looks closer to manganese though, I think. And the Mars Black added for the granulation. And this is another beautiful color. And the fifth color in this set is Nightfall Violet, PV19 and PBK11. That's Ultramarine Violet and Mars Black. Ultramarine pigments are granulating as well as the Mars Black. And this is a lovely shade of purple. Granulating colors need a lot of water for the pigments to move and for the heavier pigments to settle onto the paper. And that is all of the Nightfall set. The next set is Landscape. This set has 6 colors. The first color is Pampas Grass Yellow. That's PR233, PY43, and PY83. And that's Potter's Pink, Natural Yellow Iron Oxide, and Derylide Yellow. The Potter's Pink and the Iron Oxide pigments are very granulating, but I'm not familiar with the Derylide Yellow pigment. This color is very vibrant, kind of like a nickel azo yellow. Next is Wonder Forest Green. Pigment numbers are PY43 and PG50. That's Natural Yellow Iron Oxide and Cobalt Green. And again, the Natural Yellow Iron Oxide and Cobalt pigments both are granulating. Of course, this is a teal color, my favorite. The third color is Ocean Blue. That's PY159 and PB15. That's Lemon Yellow Deep, Phthalo Blue, or Manganese. These pigments are not granulating, but some yellows tend to be bullies and push the other colors aside. I suspect that's what's happening in this color. And as more water is added, you can start to see the separation of the pigments. I don't know if you can see on the video, but the yellow is pushing the blue pigments and creating a beautiful separation of color. Next is Nightfall Indigo, PG50, BV7, BV15, and PB60. And that's Cobalt Green, Fluorescent Blue-Violet Dye, Fluorescent Magenta Dye, and Indian Throne Blue. Cobalt Green is the only granulating pigment in this paint. I was not familiar with pigment numbers starting with B, so I had to look it up. I found they're not actually pigments but dyes, which are usually more vibrant than pigments. Then we have Twilight Purple, PV47, PR233, and PO13, Cobalt Violet, Potter's Pink, and Benzodine Orange. Another cobalt which we know is granulating along with the potter's pink. I'm not familiar with benzodine orange. This paint appears to be heavy on the potter's pink, but the violet and orange are giving a brighter coloration. And finally, Daybreak Orange. That's PG50, PO73, and PR254, Cobalt Green, Pyro Orange, and Pyro Red. The Cobalt Green is the only granulating pigment in this mix. This color is surprisingly more pink than I would have expected from this mix of pigments. And the last set is the Bird Collection. There are 6 tubes in this set. The first in this set is Bork's Parrot Pink. That's PY150, BV10, PR122, Nickel Azo Yellow, Basic Violet Dye, and Quin Magenta. Nickel Azo Yellow is a bright yellow shade that separates from the other pigments. There's also a violet dye and Quin Magenta for this beautiful pink. Dyes typically have more of a fluorescent coloring to create this brighter color. And I love the yellow separating from the pink. Next is Flamingo Orange, PR233, and PO73. That's Potter's Pink and Pyro Orange. And as we've seen before, the Potter's Pink is very granulating. Combined with this Pyro Orange, this is a beautiful mix. Surprisingly, this is more vibrant than I expected. Now let's swatch Japanese Bush Warbler Green. That's PG17, PY42, and PY43. Chromium Oxide Green, Yellow Iron Oxide, Natural Yellow Iron Oxide. All of these pigments are oxide pigments and they are all granulating. The chromium oxide green is an opaque color, and then the yellow oxides are semi-opaque. So this probably would not be a good layering color except in its lightest value. The fourth in this set is Peafowl Green, PY159, PR232, PG7, and PB15. That's Lemon Yellow Deep, Burnt Potter's Pink, Phthalo Green, and Phthalo Blue. The only granulating pigment is the Burnt Potter's Pink. This color seems to have a higher concentration of phthalo green and blue to make this beautiful turquoise color. Next is Eurasian Rose Gray. That's PB29, PG18, P073. That's Ultramarine Blue, Viridian, and Pyrrole Orange. The Ultramarine Blue and Viridian are both granulating pigments. This mix is surprising to me. I really would not expect this color from this mix. And the last is Shoebill Blue Gray, PB71, PB29, and PBK11. Zirconium Blue, Ultramarine Blue, and Mars Black. The Zirconium Blue is not a pigment I'm familiar with. The Ultramarine Blue and Mars Black are very granulating. And this pigment mix is a beautiful blue-gray color. Now let's take a closer look at the collections. First is Nightfall. Beautiful deep colors that fade into glowing colors on the lighter scale. Then Landscape. These colors are also beautiful, but I feel the collection needs a better natural green, so I've ordered Sap Green. And last is the Bird collection. I think the Bork's Parrot Pink is stunning with the pink and yellow pigments. I can see some beautiful tulips with this color. These are fun colors, but probably won't be used for your everyday painting. And now I'm thinking of all the different types of paintings where I can use them. Please let me know if you have any favorite Holbein paints that I should check out. Also, let me know if you enjoyed this swatching video. It's one of my favorite things to do with all my paints, to see their true colors and how they behave. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on my next videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.